I'm going to give a quick demo of the product, but first I want to talk about the vision and the future that we're building towards. So the question we're asking ourselves is, what does the world look like once AI agents have realized their full potential? Right, everyone's talking about AI agents, and it's like awesome and super exciting, but like, what are we driving towards exactly? And so if I had to summarize it in one sentence, I'd say it's a world where a 25-year-old has the same go-to-market power as the Coca-Cola company. Right? And it sounds insane when you say it like that. It sounds overly ambitious. But I would point out that there is a precedent to it. Like it's happened before with the media and the internet. Right? If you consider what Oprah had to do to build her media empire, right? Like pitch a bunch of executives, raise money, find a crew. And if you consider what the top YouTuber, Mr. Beast, had to do, right? He started, it was just him and his laptop. Right? And he built a bigger viewership than the Super Bowl. Right? So I think that's the world that's awaiting us with agents, where like a single person can have much, much, much more of an impact. I think it's also not just a matter of we do the same thing except cheaper. It's also different things emerge. Another YouTuber is Ryan's World. He started when he was like 6 or 7, now he's 11. He's worth $100 million plus. And his whole channel is just him unboxing toys. Right? It sounds insane when you say it like this. And so that's my point, is like the nature of the content changes when you take out the gatekeepers. Like a weirder world is allowed to emerge. Right? Like Oprah, the Super Bowl, like that's normal, that makes sense. Like Mr. Beast and Ryan's World, like that's much weirder. I think that's a much more vibrant world that's awaiting us. So we think that the biggest thing that's missing for agents to bring us to this world is for agents to be able to collaborate together. Right? Anytime you ask something from an AI and it doesn't work, everybody's like, oh, like GPT-4 can't do it yet. You've got to wait for GPT-5, GPT-6, GPT-7. And I actually argue that GPT-4 can do it if you let it collaborate with other instances of itself. A good illustration of that is the project you may have heard of that's called the Toaster Project. It's this guy who wanted to see what it would take to build a toaster all by himself. And it took him almost a year. It cost him $50,000. And this is what he came up with. When groups of people collaborate together, you can have that toaster for $25. Right? If you look at, for example, launching a rocket in space, a single individual can't do it, but people working together can do it. So that's our thesis, is agents working together can achieve a ton more than a single agent. My favorite example of that is very meta. It's Lindy. So this is a screenshot of the app. And we have a society of Lindys, which is multiple Lindys working together to build the Lindy, to build integrations for Lindy. Right? And so you can see here we have an agent that finds the documentation for the API that it's trying to build an integration for. We have an engineering manager Lindy that manages multiple software engineering Lindys that report back to a QA engineering Lindy that tests the code and so on and so forth. It's actually pretty crazy because sometimes, I'm sure you guys know, GPT-4 Turbo became lazy. And so I saw an example where the engineering manager sent a task to the software engineering Lindy and was like, can you please do this? And the software engineering Lindy was like, as a large language model, I cannot do this. And the engineering manager Lindy started to give him a pep talk. I was like, you can, I believe in you. And then the software engineering Lindy did it. So he was like, holy cow, this is crazy to watch AI give each other pep talks. So I'll give a quick demo of what it looks like in practice. So this is my Lindy. You can see here on the left, let me just full screen it. There you go. You can see here on the left, I have a bunch of Lindys that I use for all sorts of purposes. So for example, I have this recruiter Lindy. I asked her a few days ago to find me 100 people who work at Intercom in ops or product, and then to put it in a Google Sheets. And so she did that. I have a Lindy that I use to schedule my meetings. So you can see, for example, here, I was introduced to someone, and I was like, hey, do you want to meet next week at 8:30 a.m.? I was like, yeah, that works. I'm like, okay, awesome. I'm adding Lindy that will send the invite. And she's like sending an invite on Google Calendar and then sending this reply. Let's see, I have this Lindy that I use to record my interviews. So this is an interview I gave yesterday. And this is all the questions I asked from the candidate and the answers. I'll give a quick live demo of what it entails to create a Lindy, because it really takes like 2 minutes and you can do some pretty cool stuff in no time. So here, for the sake of this example, I'm going to create a Lindy that's a customer support agent to automate my customer support. Can you guys still hear me? Yep. All right, so customer support Lindy. You are a support agent for a mattress company, for example. Q&A, like FAQ. Q, do you offer refunds? A, absolutely not. And I'm going to give this Lindy an email address, but in real life, you could plug her to your intercom, your Zendesk, your French desk. But here, I'm just going to give her her own email. Right, so customer support Lindy dash, 65. And you can see now she also has the ability to reply to this email. I also have another Lindy that it's called the support reporter Lindy. So that other Lindy goes to Google Sheets and logs in the Google Sheet every single ticket that she receives. So I'm going to add that Lindy to the team of that Lindy, so support reporter. And then I'm going to tell this Lindy, when you're done, talk to the support reporter. All right, creating the Lindy, and I'm going to send her an email. She reloads her inbox every 30 to 60 seconds, which I like to say is still a hell of a lot faster than the average human. So on average, you receive an answer to your support ticket in like a minute. We need like an elevator music. There you go. Dear Flo Crivelo, I'm truly sorry to hear about your situation. However, I must inform you that the company policy, yada, yada, yada. Best regard, Lindy. So I'm going to send this. And then she talks to the support reporter with these details. And so if I click here, I can go to the support reporter, Lindy. And she's appending the row to the spreadsheet. There you go. So now if I open this spreadsheet, oops. You can see refund requests on 21 by Flo at Lindy AI. That's Lindy. It's available today. You can sign up on Lindy AI. Thank you.